Fox 26's Sherman DeSalle joining us now live from. Do start with a former Missouri City police officer put to death. Fox 26's Sherman DeSalle joining us now live from Huntsville, where Robert Frada was executed just a little over an hour ago. Sherman.
Yeah, good evening, Rashi. Frada was pronounced dead a little after 7:40 p.m. after giving a lethal injection. He's the first in the state of Texas to receive that for this year. Among some of the witnesses to see this execution was one of his children, one of his sons, and his estranged wife's brother. Now, this is the conclusion of a nearly 30-year case in which the former police officer hired hitmen to kill his wife, Farah, as they went through a divorce and a custody battle over their 3 children. Now, earlier today, Frada's defense attorneys tried to appeal the execution ruling. They claimed prosecutors were able to persuade a trial witness in their favor by withholding some evidence, but the Supreme Court denied that. Also, a Harris County Civil Court judge, Catherine Mozzie, issued a temporary injunction that prevents the state from using what she says are execution drugs that are expired. Pentobarbital is used in lethal injections in Texas. That's a common thing. The Department of Criminal Justice appealed that, and the Criminal Court of Appeals overruled that injunction. So family members, they chose not to speak tonight, but Harris County DA Kim Ong did make a statement saying that the death penalty is reserved for the worst in America.
Robert Frada had his wife murdered to settle a divorce, something that millions of Americans go through. It was a premeditated crime. It involved 2 other people, a middleman and a shooter. And the victim, Farah Frada's life, was negotiated down to $1,000 and a car. For this, she was murdered.
Make no mistake about it. Today is a day for Farah and her family. This is not about Bob. Bob was a coward in 1994 when he arranged the murder for hire of his estranged wife. He was a coward in 1994, and 28 years plus later, he still was a coward.
Shalom Yasharala, all praises and glory goes to our mighty power Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, salutations to the legmen that's feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, in sincerity and truth of this great gospel. I'm going to kick it off with the book of Job 20 and 5, and 4, it reads, Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his heads reach up to the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? And what a beautiful way to start off the year with a former cop being executed. The first cop to be first execution of the year is a cop in Texas, right? And in Texas they don't play around. They love laying criminals down, because we're in the time where these so-called cops, what they're paying for their atrocities, right? They're the same centurions back during the Roman Empire, right? They're the same racist cops during the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, all these different times, the slave patrol cops, all these different dudes, they coming back in the same spirit, the same vibration of what hate for who the children of Israel, because that's who that aggression be fully towards. And now that their houses are collapsing, one thing you got to realize, why is so many Americans, like the woman said, Americans divorce, something that a lot of Americans are going through, right? We're in the time, right, there's a lot of division amongst these households, right? The American family used to be the symbol of beauty at one time. The 2-car garage, one man working, come home, dad's home, right? Wife's at home, peace, family, and then what happened? Lord threw a big-ass monkey wrench in this motherfucker, right? He introduced these people to what? Narcotics. He introduced them to this television, this radio, and this media that pushes a vibration of what? Separation and division, really, when you think about it. a separation of division and hate. And these cops, they're being hated right now. That's the people being hated right now. That's who that division, because even with the movies, right? Since I'm speaking on the media, what the media pushes. Don't the media push a vibration of hate towards the police with the movies that they push out, right? I'm reading this. It says, the report says, the concern stems from the public outcry over high-profile police shootings of Black Americans, coupled with a recent uptick in fatal shootings of police. So for every action, well, there's a reaction. For every action, there's a reaction, right? Let me get this one verse. Because one thing that these Edomite cops do is put pressure upon these Israelites, especially when you start dealing with young blacks and blacks and Hispanics, period, right? Because they were set up to keep you in order, right? They were set up to keep the white people safe, the Edomites safe, right? But what are they doing? They're pushing the force of oppression. Let me get this. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. Bear with me. Ecclesiastes 7:7. And it reads, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, right? And a gift spoileth the heart, and a gift destroyeth the heart, right? I'm going to read the beginning. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, right? When you go into that oppression, right, it reads oppression, extortion, injury, oppression, right? Gain by extortion, oppression, right? So what is these injury, right? Esau putting that pressure causing injury, right? And what's the other thing? Esau gets so much money out of Jake's suffering, right? How much money do these devils make off a dead Hispanic, a dead black man, right? The lawyer get paid. The Edomite nurse doctor get paid. The Edomite nurse get paid. The Edomite doctor get paid. The Edomite lawyer get paid. The Edomite judge get paid. The Edomite bonds bailments get paid. The Edomite cop got a job to do. The Edomite detective get a job to do. What else we got? We got the ambulance, right? They coming through. So you gotta realize death is a profitable thing in this society, right? It's a profitable thing in this society. I'm gonna read it. Says, if not all cops are bad, why do the good cops do anything about the bad cops? Because that's not their job to enforce each other, right? Their job is to keep the pressure upon you people, keep the pressure upon you people, right? Because these cops are doing their job. That's the thing these people, this society don't realize. These cops are doing their job. Let me go to this one verse. I'm gonna read the book of Romans 13 and 13:1, right? It reads, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Yes, these cops are set up by the Lord. Why do you think they get away with killing so many niggas and Hispanics? Why do you think they're in so much power? Why do you think they have so much artillery? Right? The Lord made sure they're fully prepared for really any aggression that's coming. Right? What if the cops can't do it? Call in the National Guards. If the National Guards can't do it, call in the Army. If the Army can't do it, call in the Marines. Right? They got killers upon killers upon killers to deal with threat, whether it be at home or abroad, right? So I'm reading again, Romans 13:1. It reads, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. Cop pull you over. Instead of fucking getting an attitude, just fall back and hand the motherfucker your paperwork. Silence is the best thing. Hand them your paperwork, calm the fuck down, turn the lights on in the car, hand them your paperwork and chill. Especially if you ain't doing nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about. That's the beautiful thing of this society. That's the Salaki. That's the beautiful thing with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I'm gonna read it, keep reading. We're gonna get into it. Whosoever, I'm reading again. Let every soul. This is Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. So who's in power right now? Esau, Edom, right? And how is Esau, Edom enforcing his power? With the police, with his military, right? For there is no power but of the Most High. Why is Esau in power? Because we broke the laws and now we're in their captivity. So you got to use wisdom. When you're in the hands of your enemies, you're a fucking POW, right? Not a free man, not a free black man in America. You're a fucking POW. Not a free Hispanic in America, a POW. And you see Native American, they know they a POW. They fucked up in the game, right? It says power. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, right? The Lord set up order on the earth right now with these fucking Edomites in power. So you got to obey their fucking rules as long as it's not stepping on the rules of the Lord. If they were trying to force pork down your throat, you tell them, go fuck yourselves, right? But if they tell you don't speed past this school, you slow the fuck down, right? Plain and simple. They tell you don't sell drugs, you don't sell drugs, right? They tell you you can't be fucking killing and raping and doing all these different things, right? In this society, you can't do them. But what in the kingdom of heaven, we're not going to be living by Esau's rules and regulations, man. It's going to be going back to the ordinances that the Lord set up through the laws and statutes that was given to Moses to give to who? The children of Israel. But right now, what we under? I'm going to read verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. That's why so many niggas getting killed, man. They don't know when to shut the fuck up, right? They don't know when they already lost, right? I'm going to read verse 3. For the rulers are not a terror to good works. You hear that? For the rulers, the motherfuckers in power right now, are not a terror to good works. If you're doing what the Lord, that pleases the Lord, if you're doing what pleases the Lord, these motherfuckers can't touch you. Yeah, you are untouchable, right? The only people who's going to be really touched because they're already set up to be touched because of prophecy. That certain prophets speaks about who are beheaded and certain men put to death for the word because it's prophecy. But if you're doing good works, you have nothing to worry about. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For the rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. But to the evil, you wicked jakes, right? You demonic, satanic ass, Hispanic ass motherfuckers, right? All you niggas who don't want to follow the laws of whatever land you're in, because hey, guess what? Sometimes even following that law is gonna get you killed anyway too. That's one thing we also gotta realize in the society we live in, because we are at the end. So and they're doing something called a population control. So Esau's about to go all out. Esau's about to go all out, but I'm going to read this. It says, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation, for the rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. Yeah, so shit, we're not worried. I'm not worried about no cop. It's so many times, man, when we first went out preaching, man, they call out about 30 cops on us. They had them across the street in formation, man. We did not budge. We kept preaching for like 3-4 hours. They said, them niggas crazy. Let's get the fuck out of here. They got out of Dodge. It's a couple other times, many times they done came at us, man. Guess what? We kept preaching. Now, what do? They wave at us, man. They wave at us because it's obviously somebody done heard some at the station. They know what the fuck we talking about. Some agent done came by and heard, no, we ain't pushing no violence. We pushing prophecy, baby. We pushing prophecy. One of the prophecies is that this kingdom right here is falling. Yeah, you see cops, ex-cops being executed for killing their bitches, right? That's what you got going on. What else you got going on? Yeah, we living in beautiful times. What else we got? Let me see. But wait, there's more. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Today is Good News Day. Good News Day. What we got? It says New York PD cop jumps to his death in Queens 9 hours ago. Goddamn, boy, that motherfucker thought he was Superman, and no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He jumped to his death. Yeah, they can't take it. These cops can't take it, right? They being executed for killing their bitches, right? They jump into their suicidal deaths, right? They committing suicide. It's a suicide. It says Chicago police suicide. Third officer this week dies by apparent suicide. It's a suicide, right? Snoop Dogg need to make a song for these cops. Suicide. It's a suicide. Yeah, these cops can't take it. Yeah, the men of Egypt, they tampons is fully loaded with blood. They can't take it no more, and they fucking killing themselves. They also on drugs. What else? You got this weirdo right here. They call him the Catfish Cop. Austin Lee Edwards groomed other teens before Riverside slang. What did this Catfish Cop do? It says, let's go right here. Get to the point. The woman was mindlessly scrolling through Instagram when she saw a face that made her freeze. Staring up from her phone screen was Austin Lee Edwards, the now deceased Virginia cop who drove across the country to Riverside and killed 3 relatives of a 15-year-old he catfished online. How come they ain't talking about this dude right here with underage girls? He killing their family members, right? He online looking for that minor pussy, right? So this is the spirit of these cops right now. They're scared. They're being what? Attacked. They're being killed. They're committing suicide. They're depressed. What the spirit of Egypt is what failing. I'm gonna finish it up with the book of. Let me see. Let's go to the book of what is that? Jeremiah. Bear with me. Jeremiah. I'm gonna go to Jeremiah 51 and 30. It reads the mighty men of Babylon, right? This is Babylon the Great, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom, right? It says the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned the dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Yeah, you gotta realize that's what the Lord is doing. The Lord is removing the strength, the might from Babylon, right? Same thing with the military. You got a lot of suicide in the military, a lot of suicide in the police. Yeah, it's spreading like wildfire.